Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. If you're new to our channel, welcome. Here at Mad About Skin, we're passionate about helping you to get the most out of your skincare. So if you haven't already, now's a fantastic time to click that link below, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and you won't miss out on any of our amazing future content. Now, in today's video, we are going to be tackling one of the main ingredients in modern skincare and one of the questions that you guys raise the most on this channel, and that is niacinamide. Wonder ingredient, or actually causing more harm than good when it's in your skincare. I have hundreds of questions regarding niacinamide. Can you mix it with this? Can I mix it with that? Is it causing me to purge and break out? Should I include it in my skincare routine? What strength? Hundreds of questions. And so I thought I'm going to jump on. We're going to do a 101 on niacinamide and just really get to the bottom of this ingredient. Since about 3 or 4 years ago, this ingredient is cropping up in every different type of skincare, from toners through to serums, through to cleansers even, and moisturizers. And it's really difficult to know what strength you need, whether it's something that you should have in your skincare routine, and some genuine fears out there that it might be causing more breakouts and more inflammation than it is actually curing. Often niacinamide is used as a treatment for excess oil and sebum production. It's perfect for acneic skin. However, with it cropping up in almost every skincare ingredient out there, it's really good that we just get to the bottom of it, we answer all those questions, and we just do a 101 on niacinamide. If I miss out any questions at all, leave me a comment below, because I will be answering all the comments below. So just hit me up down there and I will definitely get back to you. So, niacinamide, what is it? At its basic level, it is a water-soluble version of vitamin B3. Vitamin B3 is an essential vitamin that we get through our daily intake. It's quite prevalent in things like avocados and fruit and vegetables. Green vegetables in particular can contain a lot of vitamin B3. However, when we ingest things, it takes a lot more for them to appear in our skins, which is why a topical application can deliver quicker and more effective results. The way that niacinamide works is when it hits the skin, it helps to protect and enhance the barrier function of the skin. It also encourages lipid production on the skin, so it can help to keep that hydration in, but more importantly, really help to preserve the skin barrier and reduce inflammation and our skin's exposure to environmental stresses, oxidizing elements, and free radicals. It is classed as an antioxidant, but the way it works can also, it's quite an acidic ingredient, and so it can give a mild exfoliation, which is why often it's used to brighten and even out skin tone, which clinical studies have shown to be really effective at doing. A lot of people consider it to be a wonder ingredient, but there are lots of studies coming out which suggest that it could be doing more harm than good. So, key to understanding its effectiveness is really the strength that you're applying it in. So if you go back to scientific studies, most show that the optimum strength and concentration of niacinamide should be used to get the maximum benefit with the minimal downsides and contraindications is between 2 and 5%. That is available, but most of the products we use on our face come in at a 10% niacinamide concentration. Now, for somebody with very standard skin like myself, not an issue. However, if you have sensitivity, you might already have an impaired barrier function. That higher concentration, coupled with the acidity of the ingredient, can cause some things like breakouts, irritation, redness, and peeling, which is where I think a lot of the side effects come from, and some of the negative studies and experiences that people have with the product come from using too high a concentration. So I'm going to talk through products that come at different concentrations, but the right concentrations. So if you want to push it and go for a super strength niacinamide, then your best friend is going to be the ordinary 10% niacinamide plus zinc 1%. Fantastic serum. Literally, it sinks into the skin like that, won't leave a film, and is absorbed and goes to work. You could also use the Paulas Choice, do a 10% niacinamide, really good. If you want to stick to what the studies have shown to be the optimum without these negative side effects, then you can go for the Olay Regenerating Serum. That has a 5% concentration in and is really good. Obviously, I'll leave an image of it there. Or you can go for the CeraVe Facial Moisturising Lotion. I love that product. That's a 5% concentration in a moisturiser form. One thing you have to be careful with when you're using niacinamide is to make sure that you're not layering it because you're using it in multiple different products. So a lot of people might use it in a toner, then put a serum on, then it appears in their moisturiser. So actually you're not getting the 5% you think you're getting from that moisturiser, you're actually getting cumulatively potentially 10 or 15% on the skin, which is way too much. So just make sure you look, particularly if you're sensitive, if you have rosacea, if you have impaired barrier function, just make sure that you're not bulking out niacinamide in a number of products. It's one of those sneaky ingredients that goes under the radar, appears in the product, but it's often we don't know that we're using it. So just make sure you read the backs of all your products and check for niacinamide. So when you go for 5% with the Olay or the CeraVe, or you go to the 10% with the Ordinary or Paulas Choice, is really up for you. If you have any degree of sensitivity in your skin, I would stick to the 5%. I would probably say start with 5% and then work your way up if you want to test the water and just make sure it's right for you. Often when people say they feel it causes purging and breakouts, which is a common complaint, it's designed to stop that, regulate the oil production in the skin and prevent these breakouts. People use it and say, actually, it's made my acne worse. That is because initially you might get some element of purging. Now, purging mainly happens when you get increased cellular turnover and it brings comedones to the surface. I've done a whole video on it, I'll link it there. Niacinamide realistically isn't going to be causing that because it doesn't have a significant impact on cellular turnover. However, with the acidic nature of it and the potential to cause irritation, it can manifest, this irritation can manifest itself in breakouts and redness, which appears acneic. That is probably where you're thinking you're purging, you're not, it's just a reaction or a breakout. This is why I think it's safe to start at that 5% with something like CeraVe or the Olay treatment and then work your way up, because that will gradually introduce the ingredient. You won't get that breakout, which, you know, is disappointing. You use a product to cure something and it makes it worse. That's the last thing you want. A lot of people say you shouldn't mix niacinamide with vitamin C. The science behind this is if you mix vitamin C and you mix niacinamide, it creates niacin, which is a irritant and can be quite acidic and quite irritating on the skin. Now, you can counter that for a couple of points to make about this is, number one, if you don't have sensitive skin, a little bit of niacin probably won't have much of a material impact. If you have sensitive skin, rosacea or anything like that, then absolutely these are two things you do not want to mix. For most people, it's not going to cause a problem really. I would buffer the treatment. So if you're putting your niacinamide on first, put another product, a hyaluronic acid or another one of your serums, and then put your vitamin C on. Buffer it with another product in between and allow the niacinamide to sink into the skin before you then put the vitamin C on top. That way you'll minimise any interaction between the two and the creation of the niacin, which really we want to avoid. I absolutely love niacinamide. If I was just going to conclude what I think, I absolutely love niacinamide. I think we're guilty of choosing the wrong concentrations, and that is where some of the problems lie. Everybody goes mad for the Ordinary 10% plus 1% zinc, and it has done wonders for my oily skin. It's really calmed any inflammation I get from acne breakouts and really helped regulate that sebum production in the skin, which I want. However, should you just start on the 10%? No, I would absolutely introduce it gradually using a 5% product. You might find you get the results that you want, that light brightening, the regulation of the sebum production and the antioxidant qualities, which we all want from this fantastic ingredient, but at a 5% concentration, that might be enough for you. If you're using the Ordinary, you could always buffer it out and mix it with another one of your serums just to shear it out a little bit so you're not getting as much in the product, because one of the things that attracts people to that Ordinary product is the price point. At £5, $10, under $10, you can't argue with that when you're paying a lot more for a lot of the other products. So just buffer it out with hyaluronic acid or something like that. Just make sure it hasn't got vitamin C in with whatever you're buffering it out to avoid that extra sensitivity. Niacinamide is a fantastic ingredient. It is not something you should be scared of. I wanted to do this video because I think it is a fantastic ingredient that I don't want people to miss out on because they hear negativity and they hear people having adverse reactions to it. As with all products and in all ingredients, you can have a reaction to it. Patch test behind the ear 24 hours before you apply it to your whole face. Make sure you're going with the right concentration. Don't just jump to the 10% and listen to your skin. If you're in the slightest bit sensitive, you have to be extra cautious with this ingredient. And I think because it doesn't have an acid name, you know, people see things like salicylic acid, glycolic acid, and think, oh, acid, I need to be serious about this because it's got that name attached to it. Niacinamide seems quite harmless and just one of these ingredients that just appears in things. But be really careful because it's becoming so prevalent in skincare. You could be using 3 or 4 for products with niacinamide in it, which is why you're probably seeing the reaction, the redness, the dryness, the sensitivity, and the breakouts. You can stop that by going down to a 5% and just using it in one product. If you are using it in multiple products and you've not had an issue, absolutely continue. But it's one of those ingredients that I think we all should be a little bit more mindful and a little bit more careful about before we jump in and use that powerful, straight away, high strength niacinamide. Hope this helps. I hope this makes sense. If you've got any questions whatsoever, leave it in a comment below. The final thing I wanted to touch is where you should put it in your skincare routine. This is one of the great pros of niacinamide. Totally versatile. Make sure you buffer between it and a vitamin C. But other than that, you can use it morning and night, and you can use it anywhere you want in your skincare routine. I would use it as one of my first serums, just because you've got it on the skin and it's close to the skin, so it can do its work. But it's entirely up to you with where you want to use it in your skincare routine. Like I say, the CeraVe that I recommended is a moisturizer, so that's right at the end of your skincare routine. Beautifully versatile product. Whatever you do, don't be paying more than $10, because actually even the Olay, I think the Olay comes in at $22, so a little bit pricier, but that's really the upper price point that you want to be paying for a niacinamide, because there's so many affordable options. If you want to go for the Paulas Choice or the ordinary, share it out with hyaluronic acid or something, and that way you just won't be getting that 10% concentration if you don't want to go in straight away with that 10% concentration. Hope this has helped, guys. I hope this makes sense. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are on niacinamide. Do you swear by it? Do you enjoy it? Have you had a reaction to it? Leave me a comment below, and any other questions which you want to ask, drop me a comment below. I'll be answering them straight away. As soon as the video comes up, I'll be on the keyboard answering all your questions. Hopefully you'll tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow we have our best of Australian skincare. We're continuing on our voyage of international skincare discovery, stopping over in Australia. So I hope you'll join me for that. And until the next video, guys, wherever in the world you are, take care. Bye.